right now, we both can have a discussion, and then later, like as I mentioned, it could be shared and which could be used by many other people. So, Shraddha, okay, I think the recording is on. Yes. So, yeah, we'll get started. So, hi, Manjusa, this is Aishwarya. So, I am one of the mentors in Bonti, and Shraddha, takes care of Bonti. So, she's the one who initiated Bonti. And, this is our second session on women and wildlife. And
Okay.
the purpose of doing this is to, bring out more people who are working in this area and this is something very niche, right? So not many of those choose wildlife as a passion, and
Yeah.
especially women in this sector is very, very niche. So we are having you as a second speaker. We had Anushka, one of the speakers, just few days
Yeah.
back, and we are happy to have you. Thanks for accepting our invitation and taking your time to join us today.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for
I'll just
inviting me, actually.
sorry.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to talk.
Thank you. Our pleasure. Our
Yeah.
pleasure. Our pleasure. So, Mansha, I'll just get started with the structure of the session. So, we'll get started with your introduction. So, it will be better if you introduce yourself, and then we'll
Mm.
get started with discussion-based questions where I have a few questions or areas based on which I'll be, prompting you, and you can share your experience and knowledge on that.
Mm.
And later, since we don't have participants right now, if there are any questions from the participants later on from the Google form they've registered, we'll forward that to you
Mm.
and you can answer that to us. So, yeah, thank you. So I would like you to kindly introduce yourself because I think that would do the justice.
Okay, so I'm currently a guest faculty in B Borooah College, and I mostly teach master degree students, and I take a few class
Okay.
from UG as well. And before this, I was a field biologist intern in Aaranyak, and I was in the same division as Anushka Ba, the previous speaker.
Correct, correct. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
and I did both my bachelor's and master's in zoology, and in master degree, my specialization was in biochemistry. So people might ask,
Okay.
why are you going to ecology if you are from a
Exactly. So my
biochemistry
question
background?
was also on that.
Yeah, so actually, I was interested in ecology from the beginning, but our institute did not have that specialization during that
Okay.
time. Yeah, so I had to take biochemistry. That's the next best thing. And during that time, I was involved in ecology as well because through like our college organizes backyard bird count, and I was a part of it since the BSc. When I was in BSc, I was like doing it every year.
Okay.
And yeah, so and I because I was interested in ecology, so I went for that internship, and it I think that strengthened my background in ecology.
That is so no interesting and nice to hear about you. And you also are a guest lecturer, and you said you are teaching mostly master level students and sometimes the undergrad students as well.
Mm.
So, like you also briefly mentioned where your interest, passion from to come into this field. If we were to reflect upon your experiences so far,
Mm.
what would you say one particular moment or one of the moments which truly stayed with you, especially like while working in this field? If you have to like point one or two, what would those be?
There aren't that like particular thing. I was interested in like nature since I was a kid. My father used to read me the encyclopedia, so that's how I picked
Oh,
interest in that field. And my father gifted me a DSLR camera when I was in class 11, yeah, class 11. So I used to take photographs, and I used to send those photographs to our newspaper called the Assam Tribune, and it got published there, and I was featured as the picture of the week. My photographs. So
wow.
yeah, that also encouraged me to go to this field. And I used to
Oh,
write a lot of articles regarding ecology and different kinds of animals as well. So yeah.
so I think that's a starting point to get you connected with nature. Because I can
Yeah,
also relate to that. There are a lot of encyclopedia which, like, while we were kids, like they used to knock our doors and sell the encyclopedia, and then like from there, we just, most of, I would say in most of the houses, it just stays as a souvenir. I would say it just
yeah,
stays there.
yeah,
And you were inspired by that, and you started reading, and luckily your father also understood your passion. He brought you
yeah,
a DSLR at the grade 11, and you wrote articles about it. It's very interesting to, an interesting arc to say to get started,
yeah,
and then like now you are a guest lecturer, like you worked previously in Aaranyak, and now you are a guest lecturer. It is interesting to see that. So
yeah.
when it comes to your work in wildlife, and
Mm,
especially the human animal conflict. So I just read through your, bio, and it says like you did a survey on elephants as well, right?
yeah. It was elephant occupancy survey. So like the
Okay.
presence and the absence of elephants, we have to like survey it. So what kind of plants are there if it's present, and if the elephant there are no sign of elephant presence, then we have to note down what kinds of trees are there, vegetations are there. So that was the occupancy survey.
Could you share a little brief on that? So, where would it be, used, and how, like this is very niche area. Like probably I'm hearing it for the first time. If you could throw some light on it, that will be helpful.
Yeah, so like this survey, we just we have to see if the elephant is present or absent. So by presence or absence mean we have to look for its dung or its footprint, because physically seeing an elephant might not be possible, right? So we have
Mm,
to, like
correct.
when we are walking around the forest areas, we have to look for the footprints and if any other signs like the peace signs. And when they walk, because they are big animals, when they walk through the forest, they usually break a few branches as well. And obviously they are heavy animals, so they also like the footprints we can see. So through that we can mark if it's present or absent. We have to mark the GPS points as well, the coordinates. It's a very long process actually. And I did my survey on Raimona National Park, then Gwalpara Elephant Reserve, then Sikna Jalo National Park, and Manas National Park. These four areas. Uh, your
That
voice
was
is
that
not.
was interesting to hear. Can you hear me?
Uh, oh yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah. Probably what I'll do, I'll just turn off my video so that the internet is much better.
Okay.
I hope it will be little better now
Yeah, I can
from
hear
my
you.
end.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Hello.
Yeah, okay, okay, yeah. Sorry for the glitch. So, like from your, so probably I'll have my video off for some time so that the internet is a little better.
Okay.
So, from your experience, Manjusha, like what do you think are the biggest misconceptions people had about wildlife and animal conservation, animal and wildlife conservation?
Uh, Most of the people think the wildlife, everything that in the wildlife are government's property. So
Mm-hmm.
they, hello, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. I can
uh,
hear you.
yeah. The people, mainly the villagers, they think that the animals that are living in the wildlife, they
Mm-hmm.
belong to the government.
Okay. Mm.
So they expect the government to do something about it, like control the animals. But it's not possible, right? You can't
Correct.
control a
Correct.
wild animal, and
Correct. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
their turf. They will move around. They will have to find their food and survive. So,
Mm-hmm.
and mostly because the population is increasing, especially in India,
Mm-hmm.
we are pushing back their areas. We are destroying the forest areas. We are like
Correct. Correct.
fragmentation
Correct.
is
Yeah.
occurring. So everyone have to take a part of it, take a part in it. So that's mostly the misconception, because like, yeah, they think it's only the government's responsibility to control and do everything regarding that. But government, the people who are involved in the government, they are not constantly living around the forest areas. So it's the
Mm-hmm.
people, we have to aware the people who are living around the forest areas, so what they can do, what they should not do.
I agree. I would agree. So I had like similar question asked to Anushka as well. Like she was also mentioning something on a similar line what you were mentioning. Like people think that everything is under the government control and
Yeah.
like the villagers do not have any control or role over to play in it. But I think different kind of stakeholders come into play in order to make things happen in this sector. So thank you for sharing that. And so when it comes to women in this sector, are there any examples you have seen or you have been involved where women has changed outcome in in conservation efforts in your experience? Have you seen something like that?
Like in a good way, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
Purnima Burman was like she is conserving the storks,
Mm-hmm.
greater adjutant storks, and people, because that bird, its species doesn't look very appealing, people used to think that it's a bad omen if that bird is around their area.
Mm-hmm.
So they used
Okay.
to kill those kinds of birds before, and it was almost like an endangered species.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Purnima Devi Burman, she is also a part of Aaranyak. She did her PhD on it, and she aware the people about its importance. So like now people are joining hands with her, and now it's no longer that the species is no longer in danger. So that's a very good thing. And we all know
Wow.
about Jane Goodall, who died recently. She worked on primates. So there are many other examples, actually, examples for women. And I there is the first herpetologist of India who worked on frogs and other kinds of reptiles. I forgot her name. Something, it starts with B, I think. So there are many other women, and because women has this ability to notice the smallest things as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think women can do a little bit more in the conservation area if we get the chance, and the safety, of course.
Okay, that is so nice. So since we touched upon this topic, so continuing this, like I would also like to touch upon the areas where, let's say, if someone has to get into wildlife conservation, what are the things which like what are the avenues, pathways available for one to pursue education? What kind of education option is available for one to pursue right after the grade 12, after their UG, and after their PG? Like, what are the streams they can explore? And think career. Let's say now they are finished, they are done studying. So, what more they can do? Because you yourself are like GATE Excel qualified person, right?
Hmm.
So, you can also throw some light on the career aspects on this area.
Okay, so I think it's better to do your UG in zoology background or botany background. In my opinion, people can have
Okay.
different opinions as well. So after
Okay.
your UG, you can go for wildlife as your master degree. Wildlife or environmental science you can also take, and that will help you to clear your GATE Excel or GATE Evolution and Ecology. There are two GATE exams you can take as a life science student. One is GATE Excel, which is
Okay.
for overall life science, and the other one
Mm-hmm.
is GATE EW or EV. It was either code, I forgot what it was, and it was based on ecology and evolution. And also, if you want to
Okay.
go for biotechnology, there's GATE BT as well. So there are three GATE exams that you can take as a life science student. And if you want to go for wildlife, it's better if you take GATE Excel or GATE EW, Ecology and Evolution. And after clearing that, you can get multiple chances to join projects or join a PhD program. And
Mm-hmm.
you can also go for project plus PhD program. So in that way, you are getting a salary while you are doing a PhD. So that's a job plus a PhD.
Okay.
And
Okay. So in
there
terms
are,
of
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, please go ahead.
I mean, sorry, like in terms of career, like what more they can pursue, do you think?
There are multiple organizations. There's JADSI, there is SACON, Salim Ali Center of Ornithology. They can go there as well as researcher. And
Mm-hmm.
there are multiple NGOs as well, like Aaranyak, then Nature Conservation and Wildlife Society,
Mm-hmm.
and CWS. So there are NGOs as well that they can join. But for that, field experience is a bit necessary because wildlife is a field based program. So
Okay.
if that person does not have any field experience, it might be a bit difficult. So it's better to go for an internship for at least 6 months. Then they can go for the job positions if they want to.
So you're saying like when you go for a full-time role, they look for experience in wildlife
Yeah,
and you're like recommending to do some internship while they are in college, like either UG or PG, so
yeah,
that the
yeah.
chances are like higher to get into a job. So typically, Manjusha, like what are the skills which uh, they look into when you come into this field, the recruiters?
Okay, so it depends. It depends what field you are going for, because there are multiple sectors. Like there are urban acoustics where they uh, research about the urban areas along with the sound waves. Like the birds, they mostly live around us, like the sparrows, the mynas.
Mm-hmm.
Those are urban birds.
Okay.
So we have to research on them as well. So there are bioacoustics. For that you have to learn leader. I don't know much about it. I just read a small paragraph. So it's like sonar. You have to go for like what kind of structures are going
Okay.
around.
Okay.
Like how the like dolphin, how they see their areas, right? They use
Mm-hmm. Yes,
sonar.
yes. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
and the bats as well. So they use sonar. So that's leader is also like that. And then mostly they ask for GIS and
Uh-huh.
the satellite imagery as well. So those things are necessary. But it depends. It depends. If some people don't ask that much experience, but you need to have this urge to learn new things.
Okay. So after coming to work, like what are the things which you have learned on the field, on the ground, just helped you later on?
Okay, so I had no idea what GIS was because I did
Okay.
my I did my master degree in biochemistry. We don't have that in
Mm-hmm.
that subject. So I learned the basics of GIS. Then I also learned how to handle a GPS as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know how to, like, when you are offline, when you are in the forest, there's no internet connection. So how will
Mm-hmm.
you gonna find your route where you have to go? So I learned that as well, but it works on my mobile. It's another map that goes offline. It's the app name is Geo Tracker, and the one that works online is Google Earth. So there are
Mm.
two apps that works on the mobile. So those things I have learned. And
Okay.
also the data, how to take surveys, also the community survey. I did not know how to talk to different communities. So I learned that
Mm-hmm.
through my experience as well.
Okay, that I think that's an interesting like new things you have learned about it. Like even like we might have learned a few things theoretically even during our undergraduation, like or post graduation. Like I think
Hmm.
there are also things which we might have never even heard about it, like the ones which you mentioned. So I think, as you mentioned, it's better that you get a taste of the flavor before you get
Yeah.
full time into the role. Um, so following that, I was also thinking, like, how was your work environment? So since you are like a pioneering woman in this, field where you're working right now, so how was your experience? Like, did you have any challenges, especially as a woman, to navigate through, wildlife conservation and working in this sector, or it was all good and you got good support
It, it
from your
was
peers?
my experience was very good actually. The Aaranyak,
Okay.
all my colleagues were really supportive. And the thing was, when I joined Aaranyak, they gave me this test. I have already told the community survey. It was a test for me. So they
Okay.
wanted to see if I can survive in rural areas as well. So they sent me to take surveys of tribal people. So I took that. And
Okay.
after that, they sent me for this occupancy survey where I was the like main leader of that team.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was learning and I was leading the team. So that wasn't a very like com complex situation for me. The people
Okay.
were really good.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So, as a woman, do you think, like, what are the strengths which we can bring into this field?
Okay, so women have this keen observation. We can even notice the slightest changes.
Mm-hmm.
Most women have that ability, and also if you have this ability to express yourself well, you will be
Mm-hmm.
able to express the field surveys well as well. That will help. So when I was taking surveys, they told us because we might not be able to visit that place again. Those were very remote areas, the core areas of the jungle. So
Mm.
they told us write as much information as you can. So I
Okay.
even wrote the smallest thing that caught my eye. So
Oh,
that helps. And I think people find it easy to speak to a woman. In my opinion, I think they find it easy to express themselves. So when they are facing some issues because of the wildlife, they would be able to express themselves well to
okay.
people like us.
So
So
then I
those
think
are the strengths.
lot more women has to step into this field to make it a much
Yeah,
more
yeah,
better place, I believe.
yeah. Even news is advertising this communication officer post, and they're specifically like asking for women.
Women. Ha ha
Yeah,
ha. I'm happy to see that uh, you know the sectors are evolving and the job seekers are realizing the importance of people, not just because of their gender bias or anything.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
happy to know that.
There will be a gender bias in every field. That like
Correct,
you can't do anything about it. But yeah, we
correct,
have to fight for it.
correct. We have to fight for it. Yes, exactly. So, one other thing which I was interested is, like you mentioned, like you are a guest faculty, right? So, what are you teaching right now?
So I am teaching multiple things. So first is reproductive biology, next is cell biology, some part of cell biology, then developmental biology, animal physiology, instrumentation, a little bit of evolution as well. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, those are the things.
Like, how did you, think of transitioning from there into teaching field? Like, how did that interest come into you?
Okay, so my internship was about to end, and I already sent my CV to different colleges, and I got selected in B Borooah College, and yeah, and I
Mm-hmm.
did my master's and bachelor's both from the Borooah College. So the environment is really familiar to me. So
Okay, okay.
because I got there, yeah, so I joined. And it also, if I want to go and become a professor later,
Mm-hmm.
it will
Mm-hmm.
help. The experience will help as well. So I thought about that perspective as well. That's why I joined.
Okay, got it. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you, Manjusa. I think that's the overall thing. Like, I think since we had only 30 minutes, I thought I'll just cover like a few things. So probably to end with one thing which I would like to hear from you is like, if people who are watching this later wants to shift their perspective on wildlife conservation, what would be the takeaway? Like, what would you like to tell the people who would listen to this, and what mindset shift they have to have?
Okay, so if they want to pursue wildlife as a career, I would suggest you do a 6 months of internship. You go to the wild, you experience, you need to experience how what you have to go through, because when I was in field, I had to live in very remote places where the facilities are not that great.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, and sometimes we almost skip lunch when we were working on the field. So people who are going to that field, you need to experience this firsthand.
Okay.
Then you decide if you want to do this throughout your life.
Okay. So if you had to like point out one or two resources to get into internship, like what are the things which students can look into?
Okay, so there are multiple websites. Like one is Yeti. I think Anushka also mentioned
Yes,
that. Yeah,
yes, yes,
Yeti.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a mailing list. You can add your mail ID to that and you will get notifications of it. And
Mm-hmm.
then there are multiple pages on Instagram as well. You can follow the NGOs and they usually advertise their posts on their like Instagram or Facebook. So
Okay.
post, you follow that. And I would suggest you uh, make your algorithm the like that resonates your interest, so the news will come
Uh-huh.
to your device by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to curate your algorithm because everything is available on the internet, so you need to
Correct,
curate your
correct. Yeah,
algorithm.
yeah.
Yeah, so that you can get every news that interests you.
All right, Anushka. Thank you so much. So that's all I
Understand?
had from my end. Thank you for taking a time in the Sunday evening and spending time with us. If
Yeah.
there are any questions in the participants in the forms later on, Shraddha would also be sharing that with you in the group. So,
Okay.
yeah, thank you. And yeah, please stay connected with Bonti. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.